The following is a presentation of the Pro Wrestling Report. Informative, entertaining, and real since 1998. Welcome to PWR Be the Booker, the only way to preview pro wrestling pay-per-view events with the Booker man himself, David Hero.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to PWR Be the Booker. For WWE Elimination Chamber, which is tomorrow night on pay-per-view. Damian Nelson along with David Octavius and Tiberius the Legend back here at one time. Hall of Famer.
Hall of Famer.
What we do here on this here episode is we talk about what's going to happen on the pay-per-view event. And we look at it from a Booker's perspective,
Not from
that one's perspective, and we go from there. So let's start now and talk about the matches as they have been announced. And David, I think there's a couple of disclaimers you need to attach to this particular episode, such as, this is for what purposes?
Entertainment purposes only. Much like the clothing line, which is what is brought to you, Be the Booker. EPO.
First matchup, it's for the Divas Championship, ladies and gentlemen. Beth Phoenix one-on-one with Tamina. This match made on Raw.
The daughter of the Superfly.
Shuba.
She is
Shuba
getting
Fly.
quite the push, isn't she?
Push where?
To the top rope.
Tamina?
Yes. This is going to be a really good match. I mean, right now, Beth Phoenix, to me personally, it seems to have lost some steam. The whole Divas division is in a big funk. They bring back Karma for the Rumble, and you haven't seen her since then. Are they saving Karma for WrestleMania? You kind of got to wonder. So if that's their way of thinking, the big money match is Beth Phoenix, the Glamazon against Karma. It's not Karma against Tamina, which by process of elimination then tells me Beth Phoenix should leave Milwaukee the Divas champion.
Really?
Absolutely.
So you're thinking Karma's going to interfere and be involved in this particular match?
Well, may not. Her presence will be felt. But I mean, as much as I would love to see Tamina get some pink and silver around her waist, you got to go with Beth Phoenix.
Excuse me, I forgot. There's some work I got to do here real quick. Let's see. Endorsed, and endorsed. Just want to make sure that's clear on here
Okay.
so we get that out of the way. Okay?
Sure. You know what the funny thing is about all your endorsements? They all have flat lines underneath them.
They're underlined. It's not a flat line, it's
Oh, that's
underlined.
a flat line.
A flat line is something entirely different.
Okay.
The next matchup, ladies and gentlemen, it is a matchup that will be an ambulance match. How do you win an ambulance match?
Well, the
You gotta
person
push
that
your
gets
person-
thrown in the ambulance. So you don't pin them.
At its
You don't
core,
make them tap.
at its core,
You got
this
to
is,
beat them.
this is quite ridiculous.
Why?
Think of the concept. Oh, to beat you, I've got to throw you in an ambulance.
It's interesting, isn't it?
How?
Kane trying to have John Cena embrace the hate. This match is a little confusing for me because you could book it two ways, obviously. Kane wins or John Cena wins. You got to figure, I mean, if you really want to get some sympathy, have Kane beat John Cena. Take him out of the game for a little while. And then does he come back more angry? Or does John Cena finally snap and put Kane in the hospital? Beats him to a pulp where they have no choice but to take Kane's carcass of a body and throw it in the ambulance. It's going to be a violent match, as violent as a PG match can be.
Doesn't John Cena, does he have to win this match? John Cena's going into WrestleMania against The Rock.
And that's why I think John Cena has to beat Kane. And he has to unleash hell, I guess you could say. He has to find that inner Darth Vader-ness of himself and put the boots to Kane and take Kane out of the game and put Kane in the ambulance. And then all of a sudden, you just feel the darkness flowing out of John Cena. Much like Obi-Wan and Anakin Skywalker.
That Star Trek movie was pretty cool.
Star Wars. Stop.
Oh.
But it could go either way. I think, you can't go wrong with Kane beating John Cena because then Cena comes back stronger for WrestleMania. But you need to get the storyline going that John Cena is hate-filled going into the Rock's matchup in Miami.
And with that, we're going to take a time out, ladies and gentlemen. When we come back, we'll talk more about the Raw Chamber matchup and the SmackDown Chamber matchup. This is Be the Booker for WWE Elimination Chamber.
It's the most dangerous structure ever created.
32,000 pounds.
16 tons of steel. It's the kind of match that changes your life.
Now, for the first time ever, it's coming to Milwaukee, the WWE Elimination Chamber.
The pain is horrific.
Savage. Career ender.
6 men enter.
No one
Leaves the same.
WWE Elimination Chamber, live in Milwaukee. Tickets on sale now.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to PWR Be the Booker for WWE's Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. And David, it's been a long time since the pay-per-view has come to Milwaukee from WWE.
When was the last one?
I think it was 2004. No, it couldn't have been.
No
when
Way
was
Out?
the last one?
Was it No Way Out?
That was 2002, dude.
It might have been.
Or 3.
It's
No,
been a long
2004, Taboo Tuesday. Nobody went, but it was here.
Oh, gotcha. I didn't go.
It's Elimination Chamber tomorrow night, Milwaukee's Bradley Center. PWR is going to be bringing you, not tomorrow night, Sunday night. PWR is going to be bringing you updates all day long at pwrshow.com of the Elimination Chamber. We're going to be in the Bradley Center with our cameras. We're
The
in a
BC.
suite, the Bradley Center as well.
Did you see our guest list in the Bradley Center?
I did. Well, I created it.
It's tremendous.
Let's get back to the matchups, ladies and gentlemen. We already talked about the other 2 matchups that aren't Elimination Chamber matchups on this card. Beth Phoenix versus Tamina. Beth Phoenix wins and retains the Divas Championship according to David Hero. And then Kane losing to John Cena. But there could be, it seems, shenanigans.
It could go either way. I
involved
mean,
in this
there's going to
matchup.
be a lot of hate in that match. A lot of boots to asses, John Cena style.
Let's talk first about the Raw Elimination Chamber matchup. As CM Punk goes in and attempts to defend his WWE Championship against 6 men in 6 pods entering at different times throughout the matchup. And those participants are as follows: Kofi Kingston, Dolph Ziggler, R-Truth, The Miz, and Chris Jericho. CM Punk has to thwart the efforts of all 5 of those other men to retain the championship. The odds are seemingly stacked against him.
I mean,
he could enter as number 1.
He could, but he could also be the last guy and only have one guy to wrestle.
He could.
He could. There's a whole bunch of different dynamics in this one right here. I mean, you got The Miz and R-Truth, you got Dolph and Kofi, and of course Jericho and Punk. You have 3 feuds in one match. Who are the first 2 that are going to start out? You got to figure The Miz and R-Truth, or maybe The Miz and Jericho. The Miz is going to start. He's still in the doghouse because he couldn't catch his old running mate R-Truth. I don't believe Kofi Kingston has a chance to win this match.
No chance in hell?
No chance, but you know he could. I don't think Ron Killings is going to win. Dolph Ziggler is a dark horse, but that's at best. It's going to come down to Jericho and Punk, obviously. That's the big money match.
But that's the money match at WrestleMania.
Right, but you have to have the first match to get to the big match, and that's
Really?
exactly what they're going to do. Chris Jericho is going to leave the chamber by hook or by crook. He is going to defeat CM Punk and leave the WWE champion.
Riddle me this. Let me throw this at you. All right, are you ready for this?
Yes,
are you ready for this? Jericho could win. CM Punk could be one of the first 2 guys in. This has happened in chamber matchups before and be eliminated, which means they don't ever have to touch each other,
No, they don't.
which
But
I
they
think is
have
the way to do it.
No.
Really?
Jericho,
It's already set up for Mania.
Jericho has to beat Punk, then he can say he's the best in the world at what he does. Yes.
No. They have to go to WrestleMania to prove who's the best in the world. There should not be any definition between those 2 men of who is better than the other.
Punk, it'll be a screw job finish.
There's a cage. It's 4 tons.
Exactly. You can do a lot of things in a cage. You know, it could be simple. Kofi or any one of these guys could hit their finisher on Punk. And then all of a sudden, Jericho, does the code breaker on one, then quickly rolls up Punk to end the match. Chris Jericho is going to leave Milwaukee the champion because there's more money in Punk chasing Jericho to Miami than Jericho chasing Punk. That's how it has to be.
Let's counterpoint this tomorrow on primetime. I don't want to argue with you and show you how wrong you are, but let's point. Can we do that? Can we counterpoint this tomorrow on primetime?
Absolutely. That's fine with me.
We'll do that. Then the question will be whether or not Chris Jericho should walk out of the chamber as champion. What's great about these matchups, what's great about the Elimination Chamber, so many scenarios could develop because we've seen a champion lose in one of the first pinfall scenarios in the matchup. We've seen a champion come in last. We've seen Money in the Bank briefcases cashed in. Granted, there are none outstanding out there right now, but this really is an interesting dynamic. What about the man who headlined the Royal Rumble matchup or pay-per-view in the WWE Championship matchup last month, Dolph Ziggler? Maybe he wins. Maybe there's a third person who actually defeats Punk and takes the title, which doesn't make much sense in the long term.
No.
But
you don't bring back Chris Jericho to have him in a three-way with Dolph Ziggler and CM Punk. You don't do it. Damian, you're wrong.
It's not about being right and wrong. Much like in the debate last week after I whooped your ass, I have no reason to need to be right anymore because as long as I'm right here.
Well, that never happens.
This is going to be a fun match.
Can we go to SmackDown?
No, I'm not done yet. We're analyzing, we're talking, we're going in depth. This is going to be a great match. I am enjoying the scenarios that could play out in this particular matchup, the Raw Chamber match.
You know, going back to Kane and John Cena for a second, you know what it reminds me of?
What does it remind you of?
Joker and Batman.
SmackDown.
No, think about it. Chaos, right? Everyone loves chaos. I can see John Cena beating Kane. He keeps getting up and laughing. It's going to be, this match has the possibility to steal the show.
Really?
Absolutely. It's John Cena. It's Kane. They've invested more into these two in the last 3 months than anything else.
Things got interesting on the SmackDown side of things, and this does contain information that we'll be broadcasting as part of tonight's SmackDown.
You're going to give a spoiler alert all of a sudden?
I'm going to, because you know how some people don't
We
want
already
to be spoiled,
wrote names on
but
here.
they haven't necessarily seen them, okay? Because we haven't.
And you know what? Too bad. Okay.
He's a heel, folks.
No,
Bad guy.
No. The fact of the matter is this. You want the stuff to be current. If we don't have a match on here.
Don't just talk to the YouTube audience.
I'm not.
all right?
I'm talking about everybody. I'm just saying we are trying to keep this as current as possible to entertain the masses.
Since I'm retired now after
Kevin Thorne?
my matchup at Blizzard
Yes.
Brawl this year, what if we have a match between you and one of the YouTube people? We'd have to do some research to find out what their real name was. But what if we had a match with you and one of
Considering I'm the booker, I'm going to book myself to squash them. Come on.
Is that how it works?
Absolutely. I got
Really?
the pencil and the eraser.
But who has the paper? Yeah, got him, folks. Yeah. SmackDown. You've been warned. Here you go. David, here, why don't you break it down for the world? All right, I'm parched.
Well, no, because it's you.
You're just breaking down the match.
You jinxed Randy Orton. Randy Orton gets a concussion on Monday Night Raw and has not gotten doctor's clearances. So, of course, they have to have a battle royal to determine who will take Randy Orton's spot, and it's the Milan Miracle. That's who gets it. Santino Marella going to be in the main event at the Elimination Chamber live in Milwaukee.
The participants in this matchup, ladies and gentlemen, Wade Barrett, the endorsed future world champion Cody Rhodes, current Intercontinental champion, The Big Show, Great Khali, Daniel Bryan defending his championship against these other men, which also includes one Santino Marella.
Going to be interesting. Why is the Great Khali in the Elimination Chamber? Is he going to fit in the pod to begin with? I mean, he's not limber enough to move around in that thing. Great Khali's been brought back for one reason.
And that
This is going to shock the world because I know the answer. And I'm going to share it with you, Damian Nelson. Is to put Cody Rhodes over. Cody Rhodes needs something because it seems like every week on SmackDown, he's the guy doing the 1, 2, 3. He's doing the job.
shows you how much of a company man and how committed Cody is to the overall success of World Wrestling Entertainment.
They need to get some steam behind the Intercontinental Champion. So why not let him beat the Giant? Let him beat the Great Khali.
I don't know where Daniel Bryan goes for WrestleMania. Things are not as clear on the SmackDown side as they are on the Raw side.
I'm going to tell you, I'm going to book this match too. It's simple. It's easy to figure out. You got to figure all these guys here are all mid-card guys.
What's up, Cody?
Wade Barrett's a stud. Cody Rhodes hasn't won on SmackDown in at least a month and a half. He can have the little belt all he wants, but if you're not beating people, what does it mean?
The little belt. Why do you insist?
Because it's not
on
the world
belittling.
title. I'm not. I just said he's going to beat the Great Khali in the
then
chamber.
you got rid of that by then burying him again.
Listen, at the end of the day,
wait till you see him in Miami. He's going to be.
I might see him Sunday night in Milwaukee.
I've invited him to the Shenanigans Beach Party.
And I hope he's there. We got to talk. Have you seen his girlfriend? She is smoking hot.
You think you're going to try to really?
No, I just said, have you seen her? I didn't say I'm going to try to get her. Listen, let's get to this main event. Daniel Bryan Danielson. Only one thing is going to happen here on this SmackDown Elimination Chamber match. One thing.
What's that?
He's going to leave the champion.
He's got to, doesn't he?
He has to.
He really has to.
Because you can't put the belt on show because he's supposed to be working with Shaq.
And it won't fit.
You can't believe the Great Khali's going to get it. Wade Barrett, it could be Wade Barrett because I could see Sheamus and Wade Barrett.
Randy Orton.
Randy Orton's not going to be there.
Why isn't Sheamus in this match?
Because he already is headlining WrestleMania. He's the Rumble winner.
Oh, true. So why does he need to be in this match? What is he going to challenge? Oh, he's not in this match.
He's not in this match. Why don't you read the notes? Daniel Bryan Danielson, if he loses the title, where does he go? Who does he feud with?
Well, he goes to the nearest vegan supermarket.
So, Daniel Bryan Danielson, he's going to beat Santino to end the night. Everyone's going to think Santino Marella is going to be the guy that's going to win. He's the Rocky character. He's the underdog.
Another Milan miracle.
It'll be Santino and Daniel Bryan, and then Daniel Bryan is going to crush all the fans' dreams and break all their hearts when he makes Santino tap. What better way to get some more heel heat behind DBD than to have him beat Santino? Because if you think about it, everyone else in here is a heel. Big Show is a babyface. Khali, we're not too sure where he's at yet, even though he's been, more of a baby than usual. But beat the top babyface in this match, Santino Marella, and then have Sheamus chase Daniel Bryan Danielson to Miami.
It's a long chase from Milwaukee.
Yeah, but I'm sure they'll figure something out.
Here's what's really good about these two Elimination Chamber matchups, and here's what's good about the Kane and John Cena match as well. David, quite frankly, anything could happen in these matchups. There are scenarios. There are a lot of scenarios that could play out. I think it leads to the success of the Elimination Chamber concept. And when we see this pay-per-view on Sunday, we could be surprised coming out of it as to what happens, because there could be a left. Hell, as we said, wild cards here. Let's go over those. Dolph Ziggler could win. It's unlikely.
It's unlikely.
He could win.
It's unlikely.
Miz could win. Less likely, but could. Punk could retain. Jericho could win. There are a lot of contenders in this matchup. In the SmackDown side of things, Wade Barrett, I think that's reasonable. He's got a chance to win.
You know what?
That's about it, though.
You know what? Who would have thought I'd ever put a
here it is, ladies and gentlemen. DHS
on Daniel Bryan Danielson. Whoever would have thought I'd do that?
Are you vegan?
No, I'm not vegan. Do
Are
I
you
look
vegan?
No.
What does that mean?
I don't watch Star Trek.
Do vegans have a certain
I don't have
look?
those funky ears.
No, that's Vulcan.
Oh. Sorry.
Be the Booker, ladies and gentlemen, for WWE Elimination Chamber. Let's go over what has happened here. Beth Phoenix defeats Tamina, retains the Divas Championship. Kane is chaos to John Cena's Batman, and John Cena probably wins that matchup, the ambulance match. The Raw Elimination Chamber matchup sees, according to David Hero, Chris Jericho come out on top with the championship in that matchup. And David Hero has spoken by saying that Daniel Bryan Danielson will retain the WWE World Heavyweight Championship in the SmackDown Chamber matchup this Sunday from Milwaukee's Bradley Center. And how great it is to be able to host WWE in our great city of Milwaukee here with a pay-per-view, a pre-party at Karma Bar and Grill starting at 4 o'clock, where we're going to be giving away 2 pairs of 4th-row tickets to the Elimination Chamber. And then those joining us in the suite at the Bradley Center for Sweet and Sexy Milwaukee. It's going to be an amazing weekend. It really is.
It's going to be a long weekend. I hope you're prepared.
Just make sure you bring your wallet, because you don't have the corporate Amex, because when you have to buy, you might have to buy Cody a couple of shots so that he doesn't kill you.
What?
So he doesn't kill you.
He has to swing up. He's not going to kill me. We'll be fine.
For that one, this is Damian Nelson saying we'll see you tomorrow night on PWR Primetime Television. Thank you so much for tuning in here to Be the Booker.